Hi guys, hi everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to IC Market webinars. All right, so today we're gonna do the pre-market analysis. So again, if you have any instruments you want me to look for the key level, please let me know. All right, and before we start the webinar, guys, disclaimer first. All right, so basically everything in this video is purely educational in nature. All right, nothing in this video should be considered as an investment recommendation or any kind of trading advice. So you are responsible for your own trading decision. Okay. And risk warning, trading forex and CFD carries significant risk and it may not suitable for all investor. Okay, so in this I think in the email today is supposed to be my colleague. His name is Woon, but I think he cannot I think he got something on, so I kind of cover him today, and I think you're gonna come back next week. Okay. All right. Speaker today, my name is Peggy. I'm an investment analyst and a prop trader. Again, if you have any specific instrument you want me to have a look, please send in the request. All right. Okay, so before we're gonna look at the chart. Let me look at the news for entire week. Okay, so basically on Monday, Tuesday, there's no news. But on March 11, we have like at 12:30 p.m. we have 123 news for US dollar for the core CPI and CPI. All right, and Thursday, March 12, we have GBP at 9:30 a.m. for the Bank of England, and 12:30 p.m. we have unemployment claim coming up. Fridays, okay, 7 a.m. we have another GDP for GBP. 12:30 we have Canadian dollar, and we have core PC and GDP, and 2 p.m. we have a job opening for US dollars. Just go back look on last Friday, because last Friday we have like 5 to 6 news for US dollar for the look here, right? NFP. If we're gonna look here, last Friday, the news came out for NFP is about negative 92K, which is higher than the forecast. We're gonna look here. What does it mean? The change in number, this is okay. It said the actual greater than 4 is good for currency, but this is not good, right? That might be one of the reasons gold is rising, but we're gonna look at gold later. Okay. Hi guys. Hi everyone. Welcome. We just started. Okay. We're gonna look at the dollar first. Okay. Hang on. Okay. So like this was like last week. Because last week I did the pre-market. Okay. So basically on last week, this like it was my key level, because I was saying that dollar is kind of rising, but now you can see that I say if they break above, you wait for the pullback and then you buy. But you can see that they kind of break all the way. It's not even to make a pullback and then continue to our second resistance. You can see the pullback. Okay, so let's look for the key level. Last week, okay, last week, remember a week before, I said that weekly price has closed with kind of bullish OB here. Okay, that's why the week of February 23rd, you can kind of see the pullback and then continue to rise. to this kind of resistance level. Okay, so I think this week, based on the candle, I can see that they might continue to go to this resistance level in weekly time frame. Okay, more about monthly. Okay, on the bigger picture monthly time frame, this is our kind of resistance level. Okay. Like first resistance, we could highlight the zone basically around these zones. Okay. And I can tell you that for the DXY, on the monthly time frame, we can see that it's sort of kind of ranging. Okay. You can see that based on the monthly candle, whenever after price kind of close below $100, okay, after that it was kind of ranging. Okay. If the next support level for monthly time frame somewhere around at 93.9, then this is going to be like first support for monthly time frame. Zoom into weekly, right? If you look at the weekly as well, weekly, when you zoom in, you also can see that they also are being ranging. Okay. Zoom into D1. So in the D1 time frame, okay, so now price has already go all the way to our second resistance level. So I'm gonna put here is my first resistance in D1. This is gonna be the peak from here. First support. Remember that slightly below the first support, we still have the gap. Is what the gap on kind of first week of March, right? We still have the gap somewhere around here, which is they haven't closed yet. So these are sideways. I'm gonna go with second support somewhere around here. Okay. Remove. I'm gonna zoom in. Okay, so basically this is the first support, first resistance as well. Now we zoom into H4, right? Whenever price at our first resistance somewhere around here, gonna move. Let me remove. Okay, so somewhere around here, we could see that this is the first resistance that you can see that price has kind of worked it off. Okay, you see that 1, 2, 3 times. So price could falling all the way here. Okay, could be falling all the way here, somewhere around this level. Right, falling all the way here. They're gonna be the key. Resistance. Okay. So this key resistance. We're gonna look at I'm gonna do the EURUSD. Okay. For the EURUSD, remember that the beginning of last week, I would say that price kind of being sideways. Okay, and then either gonna, break above or break below, and then they decided to like, all the way break our key level. So weekly, okay. For the ELSD weekly time frame, we can see that they close with very strong bearish candle. Okay, and then it was fall all the way to it could go all the way to the support level, which is at 1.1400. Okay, in weekly thing they're gonna fall to this, but I'm gonna look really closely to day one time frame. Okay, price somewhere gonna stop and see the rejection as around the price. One it could be because you're gonna zoom in really closely in daily time frame. There's no FBG, but I don't know why price was the week somewhere around here. Okay, it could see that price had rejected from here. Let's just zoom in to have a close look on the left. Okay, when we zoom into H4, okay, we can kind of see that this is somehow our first support. Okay, we're gonna add in, okay, or we look at the RSI when price was falling here at 1.1540. Okay, we can see that the RSI is also showing the oversold, right? They are showing the oversold. In H4, you can see the rejection from here. After the rejection, price kind of bounce off, rejection to the swing high here is about 120 pip. Okay, 120 pip. And after that, it's gonna break below. If I'm gonna zoom in here, okay, still, okay, look at the body here. I mean, the body still cannot close below the wick, but is this like all the markets already open? Okay, and then you can see that the gap is there's a gap down. Okay, there's a gap down. Okay, the market's really open. I think because of the daylight saving. Okay, now price has a gap down. That is quite big gap. You see this gap down right now. You can see they start moving, but gold I think they haven't opened yet. But you can see for the major pair, there's gap down. There's quite huge gap right here. Okay, you can see that there's quite a huge gap. So let's just look here, all right, and then we could identify this is the first support, and this is gonna be the first resistance. Okay, so right now there's a gap. Let's see if they're probably gonna come up and close the gap. Okay, close the gap right here. 38.2 and 78.6%. I think next week we're gonna do the pre-markets one we early. I forgot about the daylight saving. So I think they move 1 hour forward. Okay, bearish. Okay. Some of the zones. So this is the key level. Let's look at the GBP. Okay. So right now GBP, you can see the markup, the market have opened and a gap down. It's a gap down. Okay, it had to make a gap down. You see the price still make the higher high, higher low. I would say that for H4, we can expect price gonna rise to this first resistance. That would be 61.8%. Guys, I forgot that there's daylight saving. The market has really opened. Okay, I think next week we're gonna start 1 hour earlier. Okay, I forgot about that. So I think next week gonna start 1 hour early. Again, if you have any specific instrument, please let me know. Okay, I'm gonna look for the key level. Okay, we have covered DXY, EUR, USD. Now I'm gonna do the GBP, USD. So you can see that the market open, right? That's a gap down. It's quite big here. Okay, this gap down. I think over the weekend, there's a war again. Gold, the market haven't opened for gold. I think we might see that either gap up for gold. We're gonna like monitor that later. For the forex or currency pair, there's a gap down for USD and GBP. So this is my key level. Okay, and I'm gonna look really closely before there's a pull up here. I saw that price has already closed above 1 point close above the 1.3377. Okay, with the body. Okay, so our intermediate resistance level price has closed above. Okay, right here, already close above, right? So not close above, sorry. Price has gap down, okay, not close above. So this is gonna be our intermediate resistance, okay? And please monitor this level. Resistance. I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna put here because the market open and then I kind of saw we're gonna see the gap down, right? So just monitor because the market just open. Maybe we just let it run first and then we see how. Okay, but so basically my intermediates right there and the first support is here, right? And the second support first. Okay, if you're gonna look really at market structure in H4, okay, I would say that price has before that we can see that okay price has made this is break of structure because right we can see that they make the high here, the low here, okay, and price has kind of from here and a pullback. This one, right? If price going to go uptrend, they could make the kind of higher high, okay, but they kind of retrace 61.8%. From here, 61.8%, and price did not kind of make the high and close above this, did not. Okay, but instead bounce off, they continue to make the higher lower high, make a lower low, lower high, lower low. I think they're gonna continue to make a lower high and continue to make a lower low. So monitor at this first resistance at 1.3437. Okay, if price did not break above, okay, like go above first resistance, we see the rejection confirmation, you can sell. Okay, and then you can target your TP1 at your first support and the TP2 at the second support level. Okay. Then look at the Aussie dollars. Okay, Aussie dollar gap down as well. Or say that you see that this was last week. Price in H4 is all ranging, and they decided to like close below, and then they're gonna see pullback at the FBC of fabric gap here, right? And then you see that it's what falling here, and then continue to fall and break below the box. Okay, so look at weekly first. Still weekly closing with kind of the bearish candle, right? Did not close above with the body. The price is 0.7112, and the daily time frame price closing with green valid but still shorter than this. So in the H1 D1 time frame, it is very obviously that this is the first resistance level, and H4 price has already closed below the box. Okay, first resistance we have that, and the gap down. I expected that price is kind of falling. Okay, we can say that falling somewhere here to our first support. Okay, the confirmation that we see, remember last week, price had break out of the box, okay, of the range, and then pull back to the zone, which is the FBG here, and continue to fall. Second resistance, we could put this. Okay, second resistance, we can say that 0.7144. Okay. That would be 75% projection, 78.6%. Oh, exact here. Somewhere around that. Okay. Second support right here. Second support. Okay. Okay. Let's look at Kiwi dollars. Okay, you can see the market opened, big gap. Okay. Okay. For the daily time frame, okay, the overall structure is still on the kind of bearish move. Okay. But in this kind of the range, we can see that in HD1, they kind of make the higher low, right? Higher low here. But the important thing is that we're gonna monitor and see whether price gonna close above 0.61146 in the D1 time frame. Weekly still on a bearish move. Okay. Closing strong bearish. So in the weekly, I would say that this is gonna be my first support because we can see the imbalance. These are imbalance candle. Okay, here, right? And have create the FBGs around here. So basically this is gonna be the zone that you can see the bounce. Primary reverse from this level. Okay. Is that somewhere around 60% D1 time frame. Support level. Okay, 6.5% fee as well. Okay. We can see that to the microphone. We can see that, okay. We can see that. Can you guys hear so far? Okay. So you guys can see, right? Can see and can hear. Okay. So second, let me finish the first. Okay. And the second support is here. 0.5709 first resistance and the second resistance. Second resistance. Okay. So now we expect that price gonna bounce from this level. Okay. This level. Okay, let me cover the BTC. Okay. BTC, we zoom in the weekly time frame. I can say that, okay, price has closed above. The price was at 771 147 around this level. This level. Okay, and after that it went all the way up since it break because it was ranging. Okay, and went all the way to 74K, and we can see in H4 first zone, this is the OB, or you can say that it demand zone somewhere around here from this to this. Okay, we're gonna see whether from this level we're gonna see price kind of bounce from these zones. Okay, the first support I'm gonna put here. So right now price has to me has make the, we can say that this chain of character because they can close above. Okay, make the higher high, pull back here, we can buy from this level, right? Break above, pull back, you buy. Stop loss you put below the wick. Okay, and here if like based on structure we can say that it might go up to the first resistance at 80K for the BTC. Okay, so we expect that price gonna bounce from this zone, and if they can bounce from here, and then we can see that this is gonna be our break of structure. This one I will say that chain of character. Okay, this is also the break of structure. So at least you need to, the body have to like close above. Something like that. Okay. Then we're gonna break up structures. Okay, for the BCC. UISD, Ethereum. Okay, Ethereum, I would say that in the daily time frame, similar that price. Okay, I say that with the body. Close above. It's a chain of character. Okay. It's similar to the BTC. Okay. Basically, we're gonna see how they're gonna react. This could be the support level in the lower time frame, H4. Okay, so now at these zones, okay, it's gonna be our buy zone, right? Based on the price have make a breakout structure. I think the last pullback at 78.6%, somewhere around here. So from here, we can see that price gonna bow and then gonna make a new high. So this is gonna be our breakout structure. Okay, at this level. And now the last retracement, they come all the way close to 78.6%. Okay, 78.6%. So if they can close kind of this swing high, we can expect that the price gonna make the higher high, higher low, and higher high, pull back, continue to go to the uptrend. Okay, in H4. All right, guys. Okay, I'm gonna continue. Okay. To systemic cover. Okay. USD CHF. Definitely you can see that price has kind of gap up and bounced off from our first support level. It's here, right? And they kind of bow off and with the really lovely FVG plus with 50% FIBO. Yeah, within the zone. So we can see the price gonna bounce from here and there's a gap up. I would expect that price gonna go at least to the first resistance, which is the recent swing high. Okay. And the second resistance is here at 0.7913. Okay. This is gonna be the second support. All right. This is gonna be the second support. Okay, we have cover. I'm gonna look at the oil over the weekend for the past few weeks. I know there's news, and then you can see that the oil has respected that, and you can see that oil is getting expensive. Look at this kind of triangle. Okay, it break out, pull back, continue. I'm gonna look at the D1 time frame. We know that closing with strong bullish candle. It's now the oil is about $91. Weekly time frame is almost approaching at what the price 93. Okay, so from here, gold since April 22nd, price have went down and gonna close below $94. Okay. Then they has the body with the wick closed on the week of 1st of August 2022. You can see the body is closed below from support level. Now it become the resistance. You can see that this is the kind of the key level. Okay, a few times price is not close above, and now it's approaching the supply or OB. We have the OB, and I would say this is gonna be my supply zone. This is gonna be the supply zone, and it's around $95, $90 to $95 for resistance. Second resistance would be here, somewhere around here. Okay, we have 61.8% Fibonacci extension in the zone. Okay, so monitor this zone. If you see the rejection, kind of confirmation, I think you can sell the oil. Okay, but right now, this is gonna be the key level for oil for the daily time frame. All right. Okay, I'm gonna spend time a little bit on gold. Okay, this was like last week. Okay, for gold weekly, we can see that the closing with the bearish candle. Okay, but I able to confirm that this is going to be kind of reversal or revert from this. I think the body should like closing with the belly engulf. Okay, that the body close below the green one. So we can look closely that go ahead kind of close below the support level plus we can see that this is a FVG but it's already filled the fair value gap. Okay, you see that? And we still have kind of OB or supply zone, the above here, this level, these zones, or this to this, okay, about this to this. Second support will be somewhere around here. So I can put the first support here, second support right here. We see how the market open. I think we're gonna see there's a gap up. Okay, so in H4, it's gonna be the first resistance I was kind of waiting since last week. Okay, last week, and that's 61.8% fifth bow level around here. And we look it closely in you kind of see that they kind of in being sideways in H4 time frame, right? You can see that. So if you want to buy, if gold pull back to this zone again, I think you may consider to buy at this level. There's an OB. There's an OB here. Okay. And then I would say that, okay, second resistance here. So now if you're going to sell at second or first resistance with 61.8%, okay, you see the rejection, you can sell at 52.37. So right now I can say that gold is being sideways, and let us see how the market open. Okay, and then if you see confirmation, you may sell at this level. Okay. Second support. Okay. One last pair. Let's look at the US 30. D1, wow, closing really strong. Okay, look at the, if you're gonna look here, we can say that the bigger picture in the bearish, but in here, I would say that price has made the kind of close below, make a new low. Okay, so we can highlight the key level, which it is gonna be the first resistance price. We can see the supply zone here. Okay, this is the first support. If you're gonna look further, I'm gonna weak here. And I'm gonna highlight this is kind of like the zones. Okay, from here we see the supply zone around this, so you can wait for price to pull back and then you sell. Okay, right, pull back and then you sell. Okay, around that zones. Second resistance price has already break this level. Plus, you see that the FVG here, right? Look, the FVG here. Price has already went in the FVG. So that our FVG is worked out in done. Okay, now we wait for price to pull back and then you sell. Okay. This is going to be our second support. Okay, so this should be all for today, guys. So thank you so much for joining me today. I'm gonna catch up with you guys again. I think this is gonna be my colleague. Okay, so I think from next week onward, we're gonna move the pre-market 1 hour earlier and move 1 hour more forward. Okay, so all right, guys, thank you so much for joining. Have a good day. Have a good week ahead. Okay, good luck. See you again next time. Bye for now, guys. Take care. Bye bye.